Please start.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I am Mahbubul Hasan Rony. I am 27 years old, still unmarried and single person. In a span of 27 years life, I studied 21 years in different educational institutions. As for example, school, college and universities. In Shahjahan University of Science and Technology as well as Sylhet Agricultural University also. But in the entire life of this 21 years of education, I didn't found any single book which can teach us how to communicate with one another person, how to communicate with our official environment and professional environment. So where we can learn this communication skill, we can learn this communication skill in this session. That's why our today's topic is communication skill. And after this session, we will be able to understand what is communication and the pattern of communication, as well as how to develop our communication skill in different aspects of our life. You know that communication skill is very much important for our personal, familial, social, as well as professional life. If you want to impress any guy, then you need a very good communication skill. If you want to impress your family members as well as society and official persons, then you need a very good communication skills. That's why communication skill is very important. And communication skill is a very good part of a leadership skill. That's why in this era of globalization and advancement, we need communication skill and we need ourselves to develop. What is communication skill? What is communication skill is a very important question. In terms of different aspects, professional and personal, social and familiar life, there are lots of difficult questions. Difficult how we can define communication skill. But I just want to make it very easy. Simply to say, communication skill is an art. Communication skill is an art. Art. Art of what? Transmitting information, transmitting ideas and thinkings from one person to another person, from sender to receiver. As well as communication skill also indicates that we have to develop a meaningful interaction. Many times we meet with one another person, but this meeting is not meaningful. And simply to say, the final result of communication skill is we have to develop relationship. We have to creating new relationship. We have to develop relationship, and we have to maintain good relationship. That's why communication skill is important only for to develop a good relationship. And good relationship in terms of familial, social, professional, and every sectors of our life. And think that what are the types of communication? What are the types of communication? In this world, we can say that there are verbal, non-verbal communication, and so on, audio-visual communication. But in aspect, from the aspect of transformation, from where to where the communication is going on, we can divide communication scale into three parts. Into what type of parts? Three parts. Downward communication, upward communication, and lateral communication. Say with me. Downward communication, upward communication, and lateral communication. Just for example, if your parents or teachers are instructing you to do something and they're delivering speech, then this is called downward. This is the information coming from upward to downward. If your boss is presenting something in your meeting, then this is called upward because it is coming from upward to downward. This is why when your senior is advising you, your senior is instructing you to do something and they're providing some information, this is called upward communication. And when you are providing feedback, this is called downward communication. This communication going from down to up. And a communication that we in many sense we do with our friends, with our same level colleagues, with our family members, this is called lateral communication. Understand? Okay. Then the ways of communication. How we communicate with one another. We know that many of us may got IELTS examination, the language proficiency test. And you know that there in IELTS there are four sections: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And we also, in the all human beings, communicate with one another in four ways: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. These are the four important things that we have to develop for developing our communication skills. Just for example, this is that many times we have to listen to others, and research shows that in our active part of our life, we have 80% of time to communicate with another person, and then the most 45% of our active communication is in listening. That's why if you can be a very good listener, you can be a very good communicator. Okay. Then another objective of this today's session is also understanding the process of communication. To understand the process of communication, we need two parties. We need how much party? Two parties. Number one, sender. Number two, receiver. Sending and receiving. Someone sending information and someone receiving information. And between that, sender and receiver, we need some information to send, and we also have to overcome some obstacles and barriers to develop our communication skills. So please remember it. We have sender and we have receiver. To develop our communication skills, we have to overcome the obstacles. We have to overcome the barriers. And what are the barriers in communication skill? What are the barriers in communication skill? Number one, barrier is concentration less. Research shows that when a person is talking in a meeting or when a person is talking to one another, then one third of time he is listening. Just for example, if he is providing hundreds of information, he is caring about only 33 to 50% of that 100. That's why we are not listening carefully. If we cannot listen carefully, then we cannot be a good communicator. That's why listening and the less listening is a very good barrier of communication. That's why we have to overcome listening less and how to improve our listening skill. We will discuss it later. And another barrier is that position. How we communicate with one another, we should have a position. As for example, if I sitting here and I'm just talking with you guys, you cannot see me. And if I speak in such a way that you cannot listen, you cannot hear my voice, and you cannot understand my facial expression. If, just for example, if I say, what's your name? Shubho. Shubho, please go. Then Shubho will go smoothly. And if I say, Shubho, please go, then Shubho will go fast. That's why our facial expression, if we do not have a very good position, then this is also a barrier, audacity. And we have to develop an audible voice, an intonation of our voice. So for example, if a person is delivering a very serious things, but his voice is just so normal, then the listener is not going to take it very seriously. That's why voice intonation is very important. And another important thing is that we don't get feedback. If I am delivering some message to you, what kind of feedback I want from you, I have to summarize it. Then if I am saying that, Robin, do you understand it? You, without understanding what I say that I understand. Okay, then this is the wrong feedback. That's why we should overcome. First of all, we should have to develop the listening carefully skill, as well as providing feedback. We have to develop intonation voice, as well as we have to develop our position. And another important thing is that in various persons' Facebook status, relationship status is in complicated relationship. They don't know what kind of relationship they are in. That's why we shouldn't make it complicated. When you are speaking with another person, and if you are using such kind of technical term that they do not understand, then technical term using is also a barrier of our communication system. Do you guys get me? Okay. Then another important thing I want to mention: when we speak with another person, then we usually start our speech from just his finishing, or even start he's about to finish. Just for example, if I say, what's your name? Mushfiq. If I say Mushfiq, what's about your result? He said, I got GPA 5, and I didn't give him any time, and just said, oh, GPA 5 is a very good result. Then when he is not finishing, but he is about to finish his speech, I just started the speech. That's why I think this shouldn't be done. This means when the person is finishing his speech, then we have to start our conversation. We have to then speak. And if we do that, we can be a very good communicator. And another important thing is that I am going to simple process. I am going to what? Simple process. I am going to a simple process. You asked me that day before yesterday, I was in the class and I could not communicate with you a very confident way. I was very clumsy. There was no smile in my face. Okay? And when I come on the stage, you all know that Ronnie brother always had a smiling face. But I didn't have a smiling face at that day. And you were also not impressed by me at that time. This is the missing of communication. I did it to make you understand why to develop a very much highly confident sense and to develop a very good communication, smile is very important. You know, if you don't know any boy or any girl, if you want to make a relationship, if you want to make a conversation, romantic communication with this person, then go for her or him and make a cute smile, not a smile just like the people make in before school to tease the girls. Okay, just like the smile of Abi Bhai. Okay, so make a cute smile, and when you're smiling, observe her or his response. So if smile is such a beautiful thing, then when you smile, another person will also smile. Okay, if he smile, then if there are hundreds of communication barriers, then it comes from hundreds to 10. That means 90% of barriers already removed, only just for a smile. And the first that we do is that we many times we just make for how to communicate with any person, what to say. As for example, I am a marketing guy, and when I do go to any clients, then what should I do? First of all, understanding the motive, understanding the psychology of the customer, or understanding the psychology of the person is very important. Understanding the psychology. How you can understand the psychology? By speaking with him or her. First of all, you know that if you have a three category product, premium product, popular product, and economic product. Premium means high price product, popular means medium price product, and economy means lower price product. And if when I will speak to this person, then I have to understand his psychology by speaking with him his condition. And then I can understand what types of customer he is. Then I have to work with his motive. Understand? First of all, simple process of communication, smile. First of all, smile. Second, we have to understand his motive. What type of person he is. What psychology he carries inside. Then we have to have a very good appreciation power. Appreciation power means in this world is full of diversity. This world is full of diversity. And here, my opinion is like something else, and your opinion may differ from me. And if you are saying something that is not matching with my opinion, then many a time what we do, many a time we just make quarrel.